Identify online stores in your space, whatever industry you are. The top 5 online stores in that space. Go to their website, try to buy on the website, have a feel of what the user experience is like. If possible, you can go to physical stores where similar products are sold. For instance, you want to start selling cars online, you can go to Lanre Motors. Pretend like you want to buy a car, ask questions, and from there you start getting an idea. And once you have this idea, you can then speak with your web designer on, how to merge your goals for the business with what you want to do online. Hello and welcome to another episode of Business Fix. My name is Olayemi Olajide, CEO of the Market Food Shop. And I have successfully run an e-commerce business for over 10 years. In a series of videos I would like to share on e-commerce. In this particular video, I'll be talking about the 10 questions you need to ask your web designer before getting a website to sell. Yeah, boy. Now, the truth about it is you need to have these conversations, because if you don't, you most likely struggle with getting people to use your website. It's like, setting up your a physical store. You have to think through the process. Now, the first question you should be asking is how the website ownership would run. Now, for most people, which was the same thing that happened with me, when I decided to get a website, I didn't know anything about, the domain registration and the web hosting. So I left it to the website designer to sort out. But, in a case where, you do that, anything can go wrong. The website designer can make you pay for the website more than once. It's like wanting to rent a house and getting the agent to pay in his name. Anything can go wrong. The relationship can go sour. That person can hold you to ransom. So you need to understand that, when getting a domain and your web hosting, make sure you pay for it yourself. Make sure you have admin access, and make sure you have your passwords. The second thing would be, what do you want your website to look like? What do you want the structure of the website to look like? You set up your physical store. You have to think of what you want it to look like. When you're thinking of setting up your website, the things you should think about is you identify online stores in your space, whatever industry you are. The top 5 online stores in that space. Go to their website, try to buy on the website, have a feel of what the user experience is like. If possible, you can go to physical stores where similar products are sold. For instance, you want to start selling cars online, you can go to Lanre Motors. Pretend like you want to buy a car, ask questions, and from there you start getting an idea. And once you have this idea, you can then speak with your web designer on, how to merge your goals for the business with what you want to do online. You need to also ask the web designer, is the website going to be a static website? Is it going to be a dynamic website? Now, for me, with the price changes that are happening, in Nigeria right now, something can be one price today and another price tomorrow. So you need to be able to, as the website owner, you and your team must be able to work on the website from the back end to make like simple changes, like price changes, just those kind of changes. And so you need to ask, because if you have a static website, you can't make changes on the back end except you reach out to the website designer. But when you have a dynamic website, you don't always need to contact the web designer every time you need to make a change. The fourth question is, will you have a blog? Now, it's not compulsory for you to have a blog on your e-commerce website. But the truth is, if you don't have a lot of money to spend on paid ads, you definitely should be looking at getting a blog for your website. And what is this blog going to do? You can use a blog to generate organic traffic using keywords. So what you can, if you are just getting a new website, I always advise that you start out with having at least 10 optimized blog posts on your website. So yeah, that's it. And the fifth question you should be talking to your web designer about, don't say because you are the one that is going to pay, you just pick on any domain, company to register with, or you pick on any random web hosting company. You're going to make a very big mistake. The web designers have an experience, so they know web hosting companies that offer good customer support. They know the ones that offer good protection. So you want to have that conversation with your web designer about the domain, the company to register your domain with, as well as to do your web hosting with. Because if the company that does your web hosting, if they have poor customer support, your website can be down for days or even weeks, and that means you'll be losing money. You should be asking he or she if he knows about SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. It's like aligning your website with what your customers will search for. So you need to know if your web designer knows about SEO. It's not like it's compulsory, but it will be an advantage, because it means that he would help you set up your site map, and he will guide you through the process of your first 10 blog posts, which would offer very good organic traffic for your website. Then what is his or her track record? Now, don't just randomly say, because I have a brother, I have a friend that just finished learning how to make websites, and you go and give it to that person. You might be making a very big mistake. You want to ask, what websites have you built? When he gives you the list of those websites, you go to those websites, you check them out, have a feel of the kind of knowledge that person has about building websites. This is not going to give you like 100% proof that person is going to do a good job. But what it just means is that you have an idea of what that person is capable of. You also need to ask for references. If this person is a website designer, who and who has he or she worked with? You want to know. You want to know how those people experienced his or her service. So you need to, when he gives you those references, you need to reach out to those people. You can reach out via email, make a phone call, ask, when you worked with this person, how did it go? What was your experience with him? Because then you know if to go ahead with getting the person to build your website. Now, the nice question: how long will it take to build the website? You don't want to leave this one open, because with my first website, I think it took about almost 6 months to finish. And I didn't ask a question because I just wanted a website. So you need to ask, we're starting this project now. When is it going to end? Some people have teams that they work with, so which means, it might take a shorter period. But some people, they run solo, they run on their own. So you need to ask and be clear on when you are expecting the website to be ready, so that you can make provisions for, if he says it will take 1 month.
1 eternity later.
Let's add another 2 weeks or 3 weeks to that. And finally, will you be outsourcing? You need to ask your website designer, will you be outsourcing? Because the competencies that it takes to build a website, there are so many. The person needs to know about graphics. There's a side for graphics, there's a side for branding, there's a side for photography, there's a side that has to do with SEO, all those things. So what some website designers do is they get the job and they outsource some of those aspects. But what it then means is that building the website might take longer than normal, because it then depends on when that person does his or her own part of the job. So if the person is going to be outsourcing too many aspects of building that website, you want to rethink giving that person that job, except he has a huge team, in-house team, where they can handle it fast enough. So those are the 10 questions that you need to ask your web designer before getting a website to sell. Now, there are 4 videos in this series. If you have watched this, you still have 3 more to go. And if you run an e-commerce business, Please share your experience in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Business Fix. See you again soon. Bye.